traders, and welcome to Trading Fractals. My name is Kurt, and today we are going to go through another example of how we construct and trade fractal lines. So let's get right to the charts. So down here we have the UCAD 1 hour chart, and if you watch my previous video on this, we have this all marked out here. So what we're looking for is impulse waves. So we have an A, a B, a C, and a D. So we're always looking for a high, low, high, and a low with no fractals in between on AB, CB, or CD. We'd like to see pretty uniform waves. There's a little bit of choppiness here, but this is a nice symmetrical wave. I mean, the impulse waves are parallel. Our CB wave is pretty nice too. So once we find that structure, it could be low, high, low, high. We can double click on here in Metaphor to get the midpoints of our impulse waves. We connect those midpoints, make sure we're very accurate, to get what I call the fractal line, FL. So here's our fractal line, and we must note and remember from last time that D, this fractal doesn't appear. Remember, we can have minor or major fractals. The minor fractals have a period of 7, so it requires 7 candles on the left and right side that are above this price for this to form, and the major fractals are 12. So in this case here, it satisfies the 12 candles on the left, the 12 candles on the right, but what we need to know is that a minor fractal appears after the 7th candle because the period is 7. So that candle right there is the 7th candle after this low price. When that candle closes, a little yellow dot like this one here will appear, and at that point we can now draw this line. We need that fractal to be there so that we can say it's a valid structure. So D fractal appears when 7th candle closes. The fact that we get 12 candles later and it becomes a major fractal, it'll change, is really irrelevant. It makes it nicer in the grand scheme of things because we have 4 majors, but we have the candle close, we'll have a minor fractal, and we have price separation from the line. So at that point, all we're doing is waiting for price to run up, run up, run up, and challenge that line again. So my belief is that the fractal line describes the plane of resistance going forward, which might not seem very intuitive to most, but it's something that I've been studying for years and years and years. And so we're just waiting for the line here for the sell. We get in a few pips early. There's EAs that allow you to sell a touch of the this fractal line. It could be any line. It could be a trend line, a horizontal line. You can set it to sell a few pips early, a few pips late. You can set the stop loss, the take profit, move it to break even after a certain amount of pips, put trailing stops on it, all kinds of stuff. So this was actually a live trade I took, and this is a live chart. It's 2 p.m. West Coast time, so we're at the rollover now. So that's it. It's just that simple. FL, like I said, is the line formed by the midpoint of AB and CD. We don't do anything with BC. Okay, so let's go to a chart here. Let's go to the British pound 1 hour chart that's naked, and we'll start here and just look at it. So I made these fractals bigger. I changed the template so you can see them better. So here I see an A, a B, a C, a D, low, high, low, high. It's pretty decent. This is a little kind of interesting wave. That's a beautifully uniform wave, and even gorgeous wave here. So if we label these, put in A for this one here. Okay, insert text B. Or B there. There we go. Move that up a little bit. Insert text C. So you can see it a little better. The more you look at these, the more I don't label them when I'm working on my trades, but you just see it. The more you study that in charts, you'll see the structure there. It's not like it's much of a structure, just a high, low, but you need the fractal. So we have our A, B, C, D. So now we just draw our lines here. We want to make a line at AB, the impulse wave there. Just keep it white and draw one there. So it goes right on there. Double click. We're on Metaphor here. And now we have our midpoints. And now we're just going to connect those to get our fractal line. Be that long, but all right, let's move those right into place there. That looks pretty good there, right? It's right on the center point. Then we can double click those into place, and then we can kind of look at our structure. Okay, so this fractal here would appear after 7 candles. It would appear as a minor at first, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So when this candle closes, minor fractal appears. We now have 4 fractals. We can now draw this line. None of this price action has happened yet, and we're just waiting for what? We're just waiting for price to go down and test this line, and lo and behold, it did. And what I like about this and the other example, as I said in my previous video, was that the fractal line is moving away from price, so it takes a little bit of extra momentum to get down there. And I remember this because I was up. This big move down was the British pound, the claimant economic news, which was their unemployment numbers, which was worse than expected. News event, that's the impetus, that moves price down. I don't really care. And where does it reverse? Lo and behold, right on our fractal line. Pretty amazing. So let's move these out of here, and we're going to take away these lines here. And I'm going to show you something, just how amazing it really is. So now let's move these lines out of the way. And so that was a winner. Big winner there. Well, let's look here. We have another one. Here's a high, low, high, low. Okay, so pretty decent wave, nice wave. Last one's a little interesting with there, but it's another structure. So if we put the A here and start another structure, and there's our C, and here's our D. And note we don't have any fractals in between. It's just A, B, C, D. We don't even need to lock those in place, really. So we'll just use our lines. We'll connect the A, B here. Boom. We'll connect C and, oops, C and D just like that. Okay. And we'll connect the midpoints. So let's just come down here, tighten that up just a bit. And make sure you're very accurate with these. There we go, just like that. Okay, there we go. And now let's stretch it out there, and let's click that into place. Okay, so D appears. This minor fractal would appear. This is a major now, but it was a minor to start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it appears on this big doji candle here. Okay, so now we have a different situation. We have the fractal appearing at the close of this candle. So valid structure, we can draw this line, but we don't have price separation. I mean, it's not on the line, but we've got a doji that touched it, so we don't have a trade here. So when price is near the line, or there's a lot of action and spiking that's kind of close to the line, we don't have a trade. So, but we still have our structure in place, and this line is still valid. It's still a valid fractal line. So turns out price broke through and went down, down, down below the line, and now that we're below the line, now we're waiting for the retrace back to the line. Okay, now if price had broken higher from this point, we could be looking to buy the fractal line, but in that case, the fractal line is now moving towards price, so it requires less price momentum to get down to the line for our buy. I always like the line to be moving away. It's not moving away much, but it is. So anyways, price moves way, way down. We don't know what happened there, but it moved down 100 pips, and it came all the way back up. I think it was yesterday when the market was up, 300 or 400 or 500 points on the Dow, risk on, British pound flying, boom. And what happens? It gets right to the untested fractal line, and then the massive sell-off. And it's just that simple. So those are two examples, and the first couple were where price was separated from the line, but the line is still valid. And you can go through and just do this over and over and over again. So let me get rid of this. I'm going to put on the fat wick thing. I call it it's a fat wick. I make the fat wick so you can see them a little better when I screen record. And let me come up here to my indicator list for a second. Go to the fractal geometry indicator. I had taken these off, so I'll make these back to Dodger blue and Dodger blue. So this is an indicator that, oops, deep sky blue, Dodger blue, that basically, if you click on your A point, it'll draw the line for you, which is pretty fantastic. So if I clicked on this one, the one we had to draw earlier, there it is there. If I click on this one, there it is there, right? And so if I hit F on my keyboard, it locks it into place. But let's get to, here's another one, A, B, C, D. Not the prettiest thing, but here's the A part. We'll click on it. And I'm going to hit F on my keyboard to lock that into place. So technically, that's an untested fractal line, because here's our D point, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have price separation. Price hasn't made it back to the line. But here's another structure. Move one more fractal, A, B, C, D. Let's click on that. Okay, and that puts another line coming up here. Same thing. D fractal here, 7th candle right about here. Separation, untested fractal line. Now you've got two untested fractal lines. So now we could be moving for price to move way up in here. This could be a sell zone, so I could, maybe put a triangle in there, you know, and just boom. Okay, so there's a triangle, there's a sell zone. So we don't know. I mean, price, that's a big move up there. That would be 180 pips to get up there. It might shoot up tomorrow on big news. It might, you never know, but it's still potentially a sell. So let me take off the fractal lines. Okay, let me put on the daily chart. Okay, let's blow this up a little bit. And let me put on a Fibonacci level, because we're always looking for a confluence. Let's make these a little thicker here so you can see them, and I'll make it, let's see, what color we want. Let's make it a nice orange color. So there's our Fibonacci. Oops, wrong one there. Sorry about that. We don't want that one. We want our levels to be orange. Okay, there we go. Let's make those a little bit on the thicker side. Sorry about that. There we go. Okay. Now, let's go back to our hourly chart. Tighten things up a little. And now we have this area. We took the fractals off, but we know we're potentially selling this zone. So now, suddenly, what if price happened to move up in 24 hours and a big move and went right here to the 61.8? Okay, look over here. Looks like a pretty good resistance zone, right? So, well, I guess you'd call it a supply zone. And so that would maybe give us another impetus to sell that. Maybe there's a monthly close there. Maybe there's, you know, the MACD is you know, overbought. But be that as it may, we have this little area here that we can keep an eye on going forward. So that's just a little aside there. So we'll get rid of all that and come back to our fat wick. So that's basically it. I just wanted to show a couple more examples, and like I said, play around with it. Go through your charts and just look at it and put them up there. There's a great free simulator. It's called FX Blue, and I'm going to do a video on that soon, and where you can use it for free, and it just runs the price through. And what's great about it is you can put on your own template, you can pause it, put on your lines, and then just watch and see what happens. It also has functions where you can buy and sell, but it has a thing called, I forget what it's called, but it's the same thing. You can put any line on your chart and buy or sell, so you could put it on there and actually test it and do 100 trades with the same risk management and see what happens. So that's a future video to look forward to. In the meantime, thanks for stopping by, and I appreciate your support. If you find this video to be helpful in any way, please subscribe and hit the like button. I am a new YouTuber, and it would be great to help me get rolling here. So thanks for stopping by. Safe trading in the meantime, and may the pips be with you.